I just wanted to share also, I come from Colombia, from South America. And this problem of informal settlements has been brewing for decades. Decades. So when we hear that cities are growing, that migration is going to continue, that cities are going to continue to grow, there has been an inadequate policy response from many governments around the world. It has to do with informal job markets too. It has to be about the quality of national development policies. So as countries embark in the green energy transition into sustainable development, the underlying conditions should improve. That's the ideal, that there's others ways to define prosperity, and that these beautiful countries that are so biodiverse in nature actually get a chance to also grow and also grow in terms of that prosperity for citizens. And what we're hearing also is that prosperity has dignity. It's not our own lens of prosperity and what we think cities look like. So I think it's about how those communities define themselves, how they see themselves, what is culturally defines their happiness, and us helping them be good quality, of course. And we say, right, we want low carbon green. What is that in this space? So I think we have to come from a lens of empowering those bottom up that can act on it, but because national governments still have not figured this out. And the stats are that today, 1 billion people around the world live in informal settlements. And if we do nothing, 2 billion people will be by 2050 in informal settlements. So for us, the people or me or I that sit in an NGO very comfortably in London, how do we shift this conversation in terms of how do we actually get communities to have a prosperous life that, of course, doesn't cost us there's not going to be enough natural resources in the world to deliver on those cities if we don't change the paradigm. And since national governments have not been able to address this huge migration in an adequate way, with scaling up the solutions of affordable housing in the proper form in the housing market, in the normal housing market, well, let's help in the informal way, but it doesn't mean that it can't be legal. We have to work for it to be secure, to be healthy in terms of air quality, have water, have running water, have safe water, because if kids can't read, can't study in those homes, that's an education problem, they're stuck in poverty, and if women cannot have proper and happy homes, we will not have the societies we think are going to deliver whatever green future there is. It's a matter of scale, so it's a huge scale. But what we're saying here is, okay, we haven't been at that scale, we haven't up to the challenge, why don't we flip it? Why aren't we better at working with people that actually are acting on it? I've been the moderator, but I do represent the network of 77 green building councils around the world. There are NGOs that have been around. World GBC turned 20 years this year, so it took us 20 years to get where the organization is at in terms of the global convening power. So we are willing to connect our network with those as the projects evolve, connect the network so we can engage and support and deliver as possible in the local level. Unfortunately, I don't have my hands in projects, but we are a convener and we understand the importance of bringing together unusual suspects to deliver change and support the lives of those living in poor quality housing.